Hi. So today I want to talk to you about selecting a guardian or nominating a guardian for your children. If you have kids, they are obviously your biggest concern when you draft up your estate plan. The concerns are all about what's going to happen to my kids if something happens to me and my partner. Um, well, true, nobody is you. That's a given. Nobody is your child's adopted or biological parent, mother, father, whatever. Um, However, there are a few things I want to tell you that will help you feel maybe a little better about moving forward with your estate planning and your selection of or nominations of guardians. One is that when you are thinking about who is going to be the potential guardian of your kids, remember that you want to try to maintain the status quo for your kids as much as possible. Um, this means that if your kids are young and they are adaptable, like if you've got an infant, for instance, the baby is not going to know the difference really between Southern California and upstate New York. However, if the children are older and they would have to potentially switch schools and make new friends, that's a big concern. I think taking into account location is a very big consideration. You want to try to keep the kids likely as local as possible, just because transitions are hard. And if we're in a position where there are guardians stepping in to take care of your kids are also foreseeably going through some grief as well. So maintain the status quo. One other thing I want to mention is that if you are not in a good place with your the father or mother, biological or adopted, of your children, know that there are ways of preventing that person from becoming guardian, because the court is always going to look to whether there are biological parents or adopted parents available in the event that you cannot, if you cannot be, if you're not available anymore to be their parent. So there are some things to know, such as if there are any issues involving domestic violence or drug addiction or alcoholism, anything that you think would make the other parent an unfit guardian for your kids. What you want to do is what I call stacking the file. For instance, if your partner is an alcoholic and let's say there's domestic violence issues, you want to literally have a file along with the rest of your estate planning documents, which shows evidence of that. So maybe it's a police report that you filed, maybe it's an application for a domestic violence temporary restraining order, maybe it's the order itself if you received it. And then you also want to write out the reasons, if those documents aren't available, why you're uncomfortable with your child's, natural parent being the guardian. Because this brings me to point number 3. Thank goodness there will be a judge involved in the event that you're unable to take care of your kids. That's really good news. And that's because the judge is there to figure out who is going to be the best guardian for your children. So he or she is going to look at the people that you've nominated, and determine if they are the appropriate people to serve as guardians. Fourth, and this should hopefully bring some peace to you, is that there is nothing final about anything in an estate plan until it is final. You are unable to change it because you are no longer with us, right? That's how it goes. So over your lifetime, the lifetime of those documents, you should be making changes based on changes in your own life. So let's say you live in Los Angeles, such as myself. I'll just use myself as an example. Let's say I live in LA, and let's say that I have nominated my brother-in-law to be the guardian for my son. And let's say in 5 years, my husband and I decide to move across country to New York. At that point, I want to change the guardianship nomination in my will. And it's actually very easy to do You can do it on your own if you have done a DIY will, or you can call your attorney, such as myself, and we'll help you change it. So I hope that brings some peace of mind about picking a guardian, because our children are our most precious asset, of course, and they're often the biggest consideration when we're drafting up our estate plans. Okay, everyone, take care, and you can always contact me at cma@lawyercma.com. You can check out my website as well, lawyercma.com, and I will link to my website down below. Take care.